I would like to say Abarienu, that is, as a resident of Kenya. Bienvenue dans le Jam, that's as a Senegalese citizen. And as the MD of the Rockefeller Foundation, I would like to say welcome to you all. Ladies and gentlemen, the Rockefeller Foundation Africa Regional Office the foundation has a mission to improve the well-being of humanity. A century since our founding, we've been executing that mission through the foundation's dual goals of building inclusive economies, which we see as expanding opportunities so that the benefits of globalization are much more shared, and building resilience, which we define as building the capacity of people, communities, nations, and systems to withstand shocks and stresses and to emerge stronger from them. To reach these goals, we work at the intersection of 4 focus areas: advance health, revalue ecosystems, secure livelihoods, and transform cities. That to address the root causes of emerging challenges and to create systemic change. Ladies and gentlemen, let me start with a question. What is one word that the financial institutions, farmers, and philanthropic organizations all have in common? That one word is risk. Financial institutions try to mitigate it. Smallholder farmers have to manage it, and philanthropic organizations embrace it. Risk and experimentation are at the heart of philanthropy and the Rockefeller Foundation. Indeed, risk is philanthropy's calling card, and because of this, we can take the risks others cannot. Unlike governments, we do not live or die by polls or the next election. And unlike businesses, we don't measure success in quarterly earnings. In fact, risk-taking is one of the ways philanthropic organizations hold themselves accountable to their stakeholders. Our president, Dr. Judith Rodin, tells our board that if we succeed at everything we do, then we are not taking enough risk. And if we are not taking enough risk, we are clearly not doing everything in our power to maximize impact for the poor and vulnerable. Reason being, there is no innovation without risk, and there is no risk without the possibility of failure. In the agriculture and finance sectors, the Rockefeller Foundation is taking risks with philanthropic capital, risks that have potential for bigger long-term impact. These experiments come in different forms. Let me provide a few examples in the insurance and credit sectors that the Rockefeller Foundation is proud of, because they were generated by African scientists, African organizations, and in African countries, in part through Rockefeller Foundation support. Our work and investment in agriculture over the past century has shown us that farmers will more rapidly adopt improved seeds and complementary fertilizers, invest in solutions and technologies to reduce post-harvest loss if the risks associated with purchasing those inputs and solutions, getting to market, and obtaining a fair price can be reduced. Here, whether index-based crop insurance, either as a standalone product or linked credit, shows promise as a means of pooling, transferring, and reducing risk associated with crop failure, thereby encouraging greater farmer adoption of productivity-enhancing technologies. Again, however, more innovation is needed to make these insurance schemes more affordable to small-scale farmers that are growing staple food crops, and to make small-scale farmers more attractive to insurance companies as customers. One such solution we had the opportunity to support was the Horn of Africa Transfer for Adaptation Project, risk transfer, now called the Rural Resilience Initiative. It is an integrated risk management scheme developed by the Relief Society of Tigray and Oxfam America that helps Ethiopian farmers to strengthen their food and income security through a combination of improved resource management, crop insurance, microcredit, and savings. The poorest farmers are made eligible to pay for insurance with their labor through resilience building projects in their communities. That is at the community level. At country level, an example is an African Risk Capacity, ARC. This is a Pan-African extreme weather insurance scheme designed to help African Union member states withstand and recover from the ravages of natural disasters. This financial risk pool uses advanced satellite weather surveillance and software developed with the foundation's support to estimate and disperse immediate funds to African countries hit by severe drought and any possible, and has actually paid more in interest back to the foundation than we have lost as our share of the defaults that have occurred. It is a real win-win result. Another example of this kind of credit guarantee was pioneered by the Rockefeller Foundation and has been taken to scale by AGRA with promising results. The Nigeria incentive-based risk-sharing system for agricultural lending, NIRSAL. It offers strong incentive and technical assistance to banks, building the confidence and agricultural understanding of lenders with the goal of increasing the percentage of banks, of commercial banks, lending to farmers and agricultural enterprises from 1.4% to 7% in the next 10 years. NIRSAL has already helped to unlock additional investment. Earlier this year, USAID and the Nigerian government each provided guarantees to increase private financing and leverage up to $100 million in commercial lending. Ladies and gentlemen, despite these developments and the impacts of these successful experiments, many smallholder farmers who form the backbone of Africa's agricultural sector remain trapped in poverty without access to financing and other tools to increase their productivity and profitability. As you deliberate on what we can do to make this better, let us ask ourselves, what more must be done to break down the barriers that remain to scaling up innovation and investing in farmers on a large scale? How can the agricultural and financial sectors form new linkages and better align their visions to blend those who can implement innovative approaches and supply inputs to boost agricultural production with those who can finance those activities? With greater collaboration between finance and agriculture to find scale and invest in catalytic innovations for growth, Africa will be closer not only to realizing its agricultural potential, but to achieving its economic promise. This will be for the well-being of African farmers, for the strength of their nations, and for the prosperity of the entire continent. Greater investment and financing for agriculture is a risk, I know, but I believe we all will agree a risk that is well worth taking. And whether government, private sector, or civil society, one can't afford not to take for the development of Africa. Asanteni sana. Let's take that risk.